What's up, everybody? It's Sound Spectre. Here we are with the 10-year anniversary edition of Skyrim. Today we're going to be doing the start of an audio-described playthrough so all gamers of all kinds can enjoy. If you don't need audio descriptions, click the card above with the links below for a roleplay dubbed or a no commentary version. In case you don't know what audio descriptions are, and I have links for that below as well, they are descriptions of the visuals on screen, so people who might have impairments such as blindness, low vision, or the inability to recognize emotions can enjoy the content as well, or even if you just hope to listen to your favorite game as a podcast. Audio descriptions are great, and I hope and pray more games start including them. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Text on screen says Bethesda Game Studios presents The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Our hero awakens on a horse-drawn cart. It is part of a convoy transporting prisoners along a mountain trail. The sky is gray and the trees around are peppered white with snow. We are seeing through the eyes of our player character as we sit across a Nord prisoner named Ralof. He's got blonde hair and large muscular arms. Donning the blue light armor we will later know as the Stormcloak's uniform. Ralof is sitting next to Lokir, another Nord prisoner in rags, and to the right of our hero is Ulfric, with cloth wrapped tightly around his mouth. All their arms are bound.
Hey, you. You're finally awake.
Ralof speaking to us.
You were trying to cross the border, right? Walked right into that Imperial ambush. Same as us. And that thief over there.
Lokir.
Damn you Stormcloaks. Skyrim was fine until you came along. Empire was nice and lazy. If they hadn't been looking for you, they could have stolen that horse and been halfway to Hammerfell. You there, you and me, we shouldn't be here. It's these Stormcloaks the Empire wants.
We're all brothers and sisters in binds now, thief.
Shut up back there.
What's wrong with him, huh?
Watch your tongue. You're speaking to Ulfric Stormcloak, the true High King.
Ulfric? The Jarl of Windhelm? You're the leader of the rebellion. But if they've captured you... Oh gods, where are they taking us?
I don't know where we're going, but Sovngarde awaits.
No, this can't be happening. This isn't happening.
Lokir looks very frightened.
Hey, what village are you from, horse thief?
Why do you care?
A Nord's last thoughts should be of home.
Rorikstead. I'm from Rorikstead.
General Tullius, sir. The headsman is waiting. Good. Let's get
The surrounding land is now greener as their mountain descent approaches their destination.
Sure. Mara, Debella, Kinnereth, Akatosh, Divines, please help me.
Helgen. The town outer gates are now in view.
Look at him. General Tullius, the military governor. And it looks like the Dalmor are with him. Damn elves. I bet they had something to do with this.
An Imperial general clad in Roman-inspired armor is seen down a road speaking to a high elf, both on horseback. The convoy is now in the town as homes with thatched roofs line both sides of the road.
This is Helgen. I used to be sweet on a girl from here. Wonder if Vilod is still making that mead with juniper berries mixed in. Funny. When I was a boy, Imperial walls and towers used to make me feel so safe.
A family on a front porch of a house next to a watchtower watch on.
Where are they going?
To go inside when we come.
Why? I want to watch the soldiers.
Inside the house. Now.
Yes, Papa.
Get these prisoners out of the carts! Move it!
Why are we stopping?
Why do you think? End of the line.
We dismount as an Imperial captain with a large helmet stands next to another named Hadvar with a list.
Let's go. Shouldn't keep the gods waiting for us.
No, wait! We're not rebels!
Face your death with some courage, thief.
You've got to tell them! We weren't with you! This is a mistake!
Step towards the block when we call your name. One at a time!
Empire loves their damn lists.
Ulfric Stormcloak, Jarl of Windhelm.
It has been an honor, Jarl Ulfric.
Ulfric stoically walks forward.
Ralof of Riverwood.
Ralof follows towards the line of prisoners.
Lokir of Rorikstead.
No, I'm not a rebel! You can't do this!
Gear runs.
Halt!
Archers ready.
You're not gonna kill me!
Archers!
Archers shoot him in the street.
Anyone else feel like running?
Wait. You there. Step forward.
Hadvar beckons us to step forward and we comply.
Who are you?
Now we get to make our character. I'm going to be making an Imperial based off my first Dungeons and Dragons character, whom I use in all my games. If you follow this channel, you're probably going to get very used to him and his character. I'm going to also voice him as well. But before we do that, let me go through each race in Elder Scrolls and a brief description of each from their summary. This will help anyone who's never played Elder Scrolls get a better idea of the descriptions I'm going to use moving forward. So we're going to start with the Argonians. This reptile race, well suited for the treacherous swamps of their Black Marsh homeland, has developed natural resistances to diseases and the ability to breathe underwater. They can call upon the Hiss skin to regenerate health very quickly. This preset is green with horns along their jaw. Next we have the Breton. In addition to their quick and perceptive grasp of spellcraft, even the humblest of High Rock's Bretons can boast a resistance to magic. Bretons can call upon the Dragonskin power to absorb spells. This preset has a round head, light skin, short hair, and a goatee. Next up we have the Dark Elf. It reads, also known as the Dunmer, in their homeland of Morrowind, Dark Elves are noted for their stealth and magic skills. They are naturally resistant to fire and call upon their ancestors' wrath to surround themselves in fire. They have pointy elf ears, longer shaped faces, a darker purplish skin, as well as deep red eyes. This preset has a goatee and slicked back hair. Next in the list is the High Elf, also known as the Altmer. In their homeland of the Somerset Isle, the High Elves are the most strongly gifted in the arcane arts of all the races. They can call upon their highborn power to regenerate magicka quickly. They also have longer faces and an almost yellowish golden tint in their skin. This one has long golden hair, bright yellow eyes, and a very defined chin and jawline. Next we have the Imperial. Natives of Cyrodiil, they have proved to be shrewd diplomats and traders. They are skilled with combat and magic. Anywhere gold coins might be found, Imperials always seem to find a few more. They can call upon the voice of the Emperor to calm an enemy. They often look like Bretons, however to me seem to have a slightly darker skin tone usually. This preset has a goatee, a large nose, and chin-length hair. Now we have the Khajiit, the cat-like people. Hailing from the province of Elswire, they are intelligent, quick, and agile. They make excellent thieves due to their natural stealthiness. All the Khajiit can see in the dark at will and have unarmed claw attacks. The Khajiit are like the Argonians, and they're like the very most easily recognized, as it's literally a cat person. This preset has tall pointy ears atop its head, green eyes, and is white with black stripes. Now we're up to one of my favorites, the Nord. It says, citizens of Skyrim, they are a tall and fair-haired people. Strong and hardy, Nords are famous for their resistance to the cold and their talent as warriors. They can use a battle cry to make opponents flee. They generally are of a larger frame and have Nordic accents. For those of you out there who might have never been able to play Skyrim, to put it in historical terms, they're the Vikings and the Imperials are the Romans. This preset is a large burly man with long blonde hair, blue eyes, and a short blonde beard. The Orcs are next, and actually my second favorite. It reads, the people of the Hrothgarian and Dragontail Mountains, Orcish smiths are prized for their craftsmanship. Orc troops in heavy armor are among the finest in the Empire, and are fearsome when using their berserker rage. They have greenish toned skin, similar pointed ears to elves, though wider and shorter, and a thick underbite with two protruding tusk-like teeth from their lower jaw. This preset had his head shaved on the sides and scars over his face. The Red Guards are up next. It says, the most naturally talented warriors in Tamriel. The Red Guards of Hammerfell have a hardy constitution and a natural resistance to poison. They can call upon an adrenaline rush in combat. They are of darker skin and usually similar stature to the Nords in size. This preset has brown eyes and large light brown cornrows. Wood Elves are the final race. Reading. The clanfolk of the western Valenwood Forest, also known as Bosmer. Wood Elves make good scouts and thieves, and there are no finer archers in all of Tamriel. They have natural resistances to both poisons and diseases. They can command animals for them. They are generally lighter skinned but shorter than High Elves. They also have similar eyes to the Dunmer, though not a deep red. This preset has windswept hair, a long narrow face, pointy ears, and brown eyes. But now, as we're going to go back to pick the Imperial for my character here, role-playing is big for me in my games. I often RP more than IG in my RPG games. It's just how I play, since my deep love for storytelling and role-playing games like Dungeons & Dragons. So we're going to widen his frame a bit, tan his skin a bit. I'm not going to add any scars, dirt, or war paint. We're going to be giving him short hair and a slightly more proportional nose to his face than the preset had. We're going to widen his jaw a bit. There's a lot of customization options here. We're also going to go with eyes that I can only really describe as more haunted. These have a more stern look than the ones we started out with. We give him slightly more thickened eyebrows and a little larger mouth. We also change his hair to look a little more unkempt. And the reason for that is our little backstory for him here. So his story is he was a cleric in training. However, he kept getting drunk off sacramental wine before getting kicked out and being forced to be an adventurer. I make him in almost every game I play. His name is Merciix Abova. And there he is, finished with longer, unkept black hair, bushier eyebrows, gray eyes, a large nose, thick chin and jawline, very large frame. And because, like I said, I love to roleplay, every time I find alcohol, Merciix will do everything he can to take it and drink it. I will also be doing a voice for every one of his lines, so you know when he's speaking clearly. I've been playing this character for about 5 years now in various different entities. But we're going to skip ahead to returning into Merciix's perspective now as we look at the Imperial Captain and Hadvar once more.
You're a long way from the Imperial City. What are you doing in Skyrim? Captain, what should we do? He's not on the list.
Forget the list. He goes to the block.
By your orders, Captain. I'm sorry. We'll make sure your remains are returned to Cyrodiil. Follow the captain, prisoner.
Hadvar looks saddened at the order. However, we follow the captain to the executioner's block, where the bound Stormcloaks are aligned across from a priestess of Arkay, wearing yellow robes. Tullius is talking to Ulfric.
Ulfric Stormcloak. Some here in Helgen call you a hero, but a hero doesn't use a power like the voice to murder his king and usurp his throne. You started this war, plunged Skyrim into chaos, and now the Empire is going to put you down and restore the peace.
Everyone looks towards the sound.
What was that?
It's nothing. Carry on.
Yes, General Tullius. Give them their last
A
rites.
priestess of Arkay.
As we commend your souls to Aetherius, blessings of the 8 divines upon
For the
you.
love of Talos, shut up and let's get this over with.
Learn. As you wish.
A Stormcloak rushes to the block. The captain pushes him down.
Come on! I haven't got all morning. My ancestors are smiling at me, Imperials. Can you say the same?
The executioner decapitates him with one swing of the axe. The captain pushes his body off the block with a kick.
You Imperial bastards!
Justice!
Death to the Stormcloaks!
As fearless in death as he was in life.
Next, the renegade from Cyrodiil.
Here it is again. Did you hear that?
I said, next prisoner.
To the block, prisoner. Nice and easy.
Head held high, Merciix heads towards the executioner's block. He gets on his knees.
Imperial bastards.
He puts his head down. The previous man's head is in a box in front of him.
What in oblivion is that?
A dragon comes, lands on the watchtower behind the executioner.
It's in the clouds!
Him landing sends a shockwave, knocking the executioner down. The dragon does a massive shout, which rains fireballs from the sky. Mercix gets up, taking advantage of the hysteria to get away. Follows Rayloff into a tower. They slam the door behind them.
What is that thing? Could the legends be true?
Legends don't burn down villages.
We need to move, now! Up through the tower. Let's go!
Mercix runs up the spiral tower. The dragon breaks a hole in the wall and breathes fire, killing a stormcloak. Once the dragon leaves,
See the inn on the other side? Jump through the roof and keep going. No! We'll follow when we can.
through the hole, Mercix jumps into the broken roof of a nearby building. There's a hole in the floor. Mercix descends to the first floor, building aflame. Hadvar is seen ushering a boy to safety from the dragon's wrath.
You need to get over here! Now! That boy, you're doing great. Toro! Still alive, prisoner? Keep close to me if you want to stay that way.
I don't know if I buy that.
Gunnar, take care of the boy. I have to find General Tullius and join the defense. Gods guide you, Hadvar.
Mercix begins to follow Hadvar, passing a dead man on the street.
Stay close to the wall!
Hiding between a house and a wall, the dragon perches above them. Breathes fire. Mercix and Hadvar run forward, but the force of the dragon's wings sends Mercix flying back. Mercix gets back up. Running past a line of soldiers, firing arrows and spells.
It's you and me, prisoner! Stay
Rubble,
close.
dead villagers and soldiers alike litter the streets. Chaos everywhere. Fire. Rayloff and Hadvar square off.
Damn traitor! Out of my way!
We're escaping. You're not stopping us this time.
Yeah! Fine, I am not ready. Takes you all to Sovereign Guard.
You, come on! Into the keep!
Because exactly one of these two men have tried to have us executed, we're going to go with Rayloff, who didn't try to murder us. Mercix and Rayloff enter a watchtower. A dead Stormcloak on the floor. Rayloff runs to him.
We'll meet again in Sovngarde, brother. Looks like we're the only ones who made it. That thing was a dragon, no doubt. Just like the children's stories and the legends. The harbingers of the end times. We better get moving. Come here. Let me see if I can get those bindings off.
Rayloff cuts the bindings with a knife.
Thanks, mate.
There you go. You may as well take Gunnar's gear. He won't be needing it anymore.
Mercix loots the Stormcloak's body and is now wielding a one-handed axe. There are two locked gates on either side of the room.
All right. Get that armor on, and give that axe a few swings. I'm going to see if I can find some way out of here. Ah, this one's locked. Let's see about that gate.
Looking around the room, there's a mounted bear head on the wall, a giant moose head as well, and large Imperial banners.
Damn. No way to open this from our side.
Come on,
The Imperials!
soldiers! Keep
Take
moving!
cover!
It's the escaped prisoners!
A locked gate on the left opens up as an Imperial and Imperial captain charge in. Mercix fights the guard, while Rayloff fights the captain. They're both wielding swords. Mercix hacks away. Rayloff downs the captain, viciously spinning around with his two axes. He comes behind the Imperial Guard and closes them off before going down to the downed captain and hitting her in the head with the axe.
Maybe one of these Imperials have a key. Let's see here.
Merciex loots the bodies as Rayloff grabs the key. Merciex takes the captain's heavy armor and wields two iron swords.
Here we are. Found the key. Let's see if it opens up.
Rayloff unlocks the locked gate.
That's it. Come on. Let's get out of here before the dragon brings the whole tower down on our heads.
Continuing down the keep, the dragon's force causes a cave-in.
Damn, that dragon doesn't give up easy.
Grab everything important and let's move. Dragon's burning everything to the
They
ground.
head through a door into a storeroom and attack two Imperials.
Filthy traitors.
Rayloff charges in, opening with wild swings of his axes. Merciex finishes the last Imperial by slipping behind him, holding one sword against his neck and plunging the other into his back.
A storeroom. See if you can find any potions. We'll need them.
Merciex begins to pour through the room, finding potions and, more importantly, wine. Now, Merciex, here's when my RPG ying comes in. Merciex is a bit of a drinker. He's going to consume or take all the alcohol he sees, unless he's already drank some, or doing so would get him killed. He thinks to himself, "Don't mind if I do," and drinks 2 bottles of wine. He's had a rough day so far. There's another wine bottle on a corner table. He takes it, which he drinks as well. Going through the many barrels of stores in the storeroom, he takes potions, flour, apples, tomatoes, salt piles, and salt piles are very important. He meets up with Rayloff at the end of the room, descending further.
Done? Let's get moving.
2 Imperials in hoods are fighting 2 Stormcloaks. Rayloff and Merciex draw their weapons.
Troll's blood. It's a torture room. Hear that? Come on.
The combined might of Stormcloaks duo. Merciex finishes the last, and the Stormcloaks prevail.
Was Jarl Ulfric with you?
No, I haven't seen him since the dragon showed up.
Wait a second. Looks like there's something in this cage. Ah, it's locked. See if you can get it open with some picks. We might need that gold once we get out. Grab. Useful, and let's go.
Torture devices, blood, and cages all around. Merciex takes a shield and mace from the stores in the corner. There are skeletons hanging from the wall. After equipping the mace and shield, there is a knapsack on the table with a book. The book reads, "The Book of the Dragonborn" by Prior Emilian Madrine, Order of Talos, Waynon Privery, year 360 of the Third Era, 21st of the reign of His Majesty Pelagius IV. Turning the page. Many people have heard the term Dragonborn. We are of course ruled by Dragonborn emperors. but the true meaning of the term is not commonly understood. For those of us in the Order of Talos, this is a subject near and dear to our hearts, and in this book I will attempt to illuminate the history and significance of those known as Dragonborn. Turn the page down the ages. Most scholars agree that the term was first used in connection with the Covenant of Akatosh, when the blessed Saint Alessia was given the Amulet of Kings, and the dragonfires in the Temple of the One were first lit. Akatosh, looking with pity upon the plight of men, drew precious blood from his own heart and blessed Saint Alessia with his blood of dragons, and made a covenant that so long as Alessia's generations were true to the dragon blood, Akatosh would endeavor to seal tight the gates of oblivion, and to deny the armies of Daedra and undead to their enemies, the Daedra-loving Aelids. Those blessed by Akatosh with the dragon blood became known more simply as Dragonborn. The connection with the rulers of the Empire was thus there from the beginning. Only those of the dragon blood were able to wear the Amulet of Kings and light the dragon's fire. All the legitimate rulers of the Empire have been Dragonborn. The emperors and empresses of the First Cyrodiilic Empire, founded by Alessia, Remen Cyrodiil and his heirs, and of course Tiber Septim and his heirs, down to our current emperor, His Majesty Pelagius Septim IV. Because of this connection with the emperors, however, the other significance of the Dragonborn has been obscured and largely forgotten by all the scholars and those of us dedicated to the service of the blessed Talos. Who was Tiber Septim? Very few realize that being Dragonborn is not a simple matter of heredity. Being the blessing of Akatosh himself, it is beyond our understanding exactly how and why it is bestowed. Those who become emperor and light the dragon fires are surely Dragonborn. The proof is in the wearing of the amulet and the lighting of the fires. But were they Dragonborn and thus able to do these things, or was the doing the sign of the blessing of Akatosh descending upon them? All that we can say is that it is both and neither a divine mystery. The line of Septims have all been Dragonborn, of course, which is one reason the simplistic notion of it being so hereditary has become so commonplace. But we know for certain that the early Cyrodiilic rulers were not all related. There is also no evidence that Remen Cyrodiil was descended from the Alessia, although there are many legends that would make it so, most of them dating from the time of Remen and likely attempts to legitimize his rule. We know that the Blades, usually thought of as the Emperor's bodyguards, originated in Akhavari Crusaders who invaded Tamriel for obscure reasons in the late First Era. They appear to have been searching for a Dragonborn. The events at Pale Pass bear this out, and the Akhavari were the first to proclaim Remen Cyrodiil as Dragonborn. In fact, it was the Akhavari who did the most to promote his standing as Emperor, although Remen himself never took that title in his lifetime. And of course, there is no known hereditary connection between Tiber Septim and any of the previous Dragonborn rulers of Tamriel. Whether there can be one or more Dragonborn at a time is another mystery. The emperors have done their best to dismiss this notion, but of course the imperial succession itself means that there is at the very least there are two or more potential Dragonborn at any time, the current ruler and his or her heirs. The history of the Blades also hints at this, although little is known of their activities during the interregnum between Remen's empire and the rise of Tiber Septim. Many believe that the Blades continued to search out and guard those they believe were, or might be, Dragonborn during this time. Lastly, we come to the question of the true meaning of being Dragonborn. The connection with dragons is so obvious that it has almost been forgotten. It is these days, when dragons are a distant memory, we forget that in the early days of being Dragonborn meant having the dragon blood. Some scholars believe that was meant quite literally, although the exact significance is not known. The Nords tell tales of Dragonborn heroes who were great dragon slayers, able to steal the power of the dragons they killed. Indeed, it is well known that Akhavari sought out and killed many dragons during their invasion, and there is some evidence that this continued after they became Remen Cyrodiil's Dragon Guard, again the connection to dragons. the direct predecessor to the blades of today. I leave you with what is known as the prophecy of the Dragonborn. It is often said to originate in an Elder Scroll, although it is sometimes also attributed to the ancient Akhavari. Many have attempted to decipher it, and many have also believed that its omens had been fulfilled, and the last advent of the last Dragonborn was at hand. I make no claims as an interpreter of prophecy, but it does suggest that the true significance of Akatosh's gift to mortal kind has yet to be fully understood. When misrule takes its place at the 8 corners of the world, when the brass tower walks and time is reshaped, when the thrice blessed flail and the red tower trembles, when the Dragonborn ruler loses his throne and the white tower falls, when the snow tower lies sundered, kingless, bleeding, the World Eater wakes and the wheel turns upon the last Dragonborn. We close the book. Mercix puts the book in his pocket before grabbing a lockpick from the knapsack. He goes over to one of the cages. Text on screen says, "Lockpicking. Use the left stick to rotate the lock bit, then the right stick to rotate the lock. The closer the pick is to the correct position, the more the lock will rotate before the lock. The closer the lock pick is to the correct position, the more the lock will rotate before the pick breaks. Only when it is in the correct position will the lock fully rotate and open." After some fiddling, Mercix turns the pick to about 11 o'clock and then enters the cage to find a dead Stormcloak mage with some money, mage robes, the hood of which we will equip, as well as a spell tome of sparks, which will teach us the spell. I then will favorite the other spells, flames, and healing spell as well, so that they can be accessed quickly. Leaving the body, we head down deeper into the prison to follow Ralof. It is a dimly lit hallway with extremely small cells along both sides. Each cell is about arm's length wide and only has a bit of hay.
Imperial dogs. There's nothing too low for them.
The two continue downward. A brazier is lit by 2 raised people-sized bird cages. There's a skeleton in one and a corpse in the other. The brazier light casts a shadow on the grim scene on the wall behind it. Mercix thinks to himself, "Imperial bastards," though he still picks their bodies for some gold.
This way.
Further into the room, 2 more skeletons in cages, as the Stormcloaks and Ralof wait ahead.
Come on, hurry up.
Better to stick together down here.
A hole in the wall leads to a cave. The path further down is lit by braziers.
Orders are to wait until General Tullius arrives.
I'm not waiting to be killed by a
Into
dragon.
a group of Imperials. Ralof charges the first on a stone bridge. Mercix finishes him off with a mace blow to the face. The Stormcloaks charge and fight over little stone bridges as water is coursing below.
You can't beat me. Give up while
After making short work of the 3, Merciax finishes off the last with a massive mace blow to the face.
I'll keep watch in case Ulfric comes through here. Talos guide the way.
After managing his inventory a little bit, his left hand turns a warm yellow as he heals himself with the restoration spell called Healing before looting the rest of the bodies. He goes to join Ralof while the other two stay behind to watch their backs.
Let's see where this goes.
Meeting up with Ralof, there is a wooden blockage. There's a lever. The lever drops the wooden blockage to become a drawbridge. They continue through another cave.
They're going back that way now. Better push on. The rest of them will have to find another way out.
Entering in this other cave, the shockwave of the dragon caves in the path they came from. It's just Ralof and Merciax now. They press on into the cave. There's a brook below, leading to a dead end. They head right, and cobwebs begin coating the wall.
That doesn't go anywhere. Guess we'd better try this way.
The path to the right opens to a large cavern with cobwebs everywhere. Merciax slows. 4, now 5 spiders descend from the ceiling, all about knee-high. Ralof and Merciax cut them down with massive swings to the face. 5 spiders lay dead in the middle. Merciax then begins to take some of the frostbite venom from their bodies.
I hate those damn things. Too many eyes, you know?
Too right, mate. Too right. Descending further, they can see pockets of light coming from holes in the cavern ceiling. They're getting close to the surface.
Better to stick together down here.
The two crouch as a large grizzly is curled up further ahead.
Hold up! There's a bear just ahead. See her? I'd rather not tangle with her right now. Let's try to sneak by. Just take it nice and slow. And watch where you step. Or if you're feeling lucky, you can take this bow. Might take her by surprise. Go ahead. I'll follow your lead and watch your back.
However, despite the bear, Merciax is more concerned with an abandoned cart of alcohol as he fills his pockets, grabbing 4 bottles of wine and 1 bottle of mead. He then realizes he should probably go to the side, and Ralof and him sneak along to the left. The bear is stirring, but they still sneak further down.
Almost there. Phew. That was close.
The two breathe a sigh of relief in a pile of bones, perhaps the bear's last victims.
That looks like the way out. I knew we'd make it.
A light at the end of the tunnel, passing through with a beautiful landscape of Skyrim. Snow-kissed pines line a descending mountain path.
Wait!
Mountains and lakes in a distance. Text on screen. Survival mode. Survival adds the need to eat, sleep, and stay warm. It also adds additional challenges such as no fast travel, reduced carry weight, and leveling up only when you sleep. See the survival mode entry and help for no details. Enable survival mode. We're actually going to enable the survival mode because we've all played Skyrim 1,000 times. Let's make it a little harder. because of that, we are now over encumbered, and Mercix is going to drop all of our cheaper gear as we drop our helmets and boots roll down the mountain. Rayloff, however, is hiding behind a rock while we're doing this, watching the dragon fly away while we're busy lightening our load.
There he goes. Looks like he's gone for good this time. No way to know if anyone else made it out alive. But this place is going to be swarming with Imperials soon enough. We better clear out of here. My sister, Gerda, runs the mill in Riverwood, just up the road. I'm sure she'd help you out. It's probably best if we split up. Good luck. I wouldn't have made it without your help today.
Rayloff turns to talk to us. And despite what he says, we're not going to split up. We're going to head to Riverwood. Rayloff waits for us while we do a little pan around to see the pines and the trees and the mountains around us. We're descending into a warmer area, so the snow-topped trees become more of a lusher green. It's also the first time we've seen Mercix in a while. He's got the Torturer's hood on and the Imperial Captain's heavy armor, along with the shield and his mace. Continue down the path, following Rayloff closely. The path spirals down as we get text on screen. Hunger. You are hungry, which reduces your total available stamina, represented by a dark region in the stamina bar. Hunger also affects how quickly you can attack with weapons. Eat food to reduce your hunger. Cooked meals are significantly better at restoring hunger than raw. Uncooked food. Eating raw meat may lead to food poisoning. Again, this is a feature of survival mode. The duo continues down the road.
You know, you should go to Windhelm and join the fight to free Skyrim. You've seen the true face of the Empire here today. If anyone will know what the coming of the dragon means, it's Ulfric.
A new optional quest of joining the Stormcloaks appears. We're going to do that down the road for sure, because I'm not a fan that the Imperials had no idea who we were, but they wanted to execute us anyway.
See that ruin up there? Bleak Falls Barrow. I never understood how my sister could stand living in the shadow of that place. I guess you get used to it.
Bleak Falls Barrows. A ruined crypt covered in snow and stone arches up ahead. Mercix stands on a cliff and overlooks the ruins and the winding path below. There's a large river beside the path. Mercix slides down to a guardian stone. It's of the mage. These provide passive buffs, this one letting Mercix learn spells 25% faster. We take the blessing as Rayloff approaches to regard the stones with us. He turns to us and speaks.
These are the Guardian Stones. 3 of the 13 ancient standing stones that dot Skyrim's landscape. Mage, eh? Well, to each his own. It's not for me to judge.
We head further towards the east alongside the river. A small dip makes a waterfall to our left, ahead of some small river rapids.
Remember, this isn't Stormcloak territory. If we're ahead of the news from Helgen, we should be fine. As long as we don't do anything stupid. If we run into any Imperials, just let me do the talking, alright?
I mean, I'm an Imperial, but alright, mate, whatever you say.
Rayloff draws his sword as 2 wolves approach. Mercix goes to help, but Rayloff has already dispatched them. We take their pelts and head on as a new tooltip comes across the screen. It says, Fatigue. You are tired, which reduces your total available magicka, represented by a dark region in the magicka bar. Blue bar on the bottom left. Fatigue also decreases how quickly you recover magicka and stamina, and the effectiveness of potions. Sleep in a bed to reduce your fatigue. Sleeping indoors allows for more restful sleep than sleeping outdoors. These are both another feature of survival mode.
I'm glad you decided to come with me. We're almost to Riverwood.
Me too, mate. I'm real hungry.
Mercix thinks, as the green bar on the bottom right is now increasingly more red, signifying our hunger. The thatched roofs and the town gate of Riverwood come into view. They slow to a walk. Ralof heads to the left as a blond man named Sven is talking to his mother.
Looks like nobody here knows what happened. Come on,
what?
Gerda's probably working in her lumber mill.
It was as big as the mountain and black as night. It flew right over the Barrow.
Dragons now, is it? Please, Mother. If you keep on like this, everyone in town will think you're crazy. And I've got better things to do than listen to more of your fantasies.
You'll see. It was a dragon. It'll kill us all, and then you'll believe me.
Sven storms off, and we approach his mother, Hilda.
Nobody believes me, but I tell you, I saw a dragon. Did you hear? The Riverwood trader was robbed. Poor Lucan must be torn to pieces over it.
We go to follow where Ralof went, towards the lumber mill, and an elven archer named Farndal with a white ponytail carrying logs is approaching us.
Did I see you talking to Sven? Maybe not. Maybe... Never mind. But I would stay away from him if I were you.
He passes by. Wait, what?
Riverwood's agreeable enough, I suppose. For a Nord village.
What's your problem with Sven? Just met a guy.
He's a bard, so he says. Occasionally, he finds time to do his job here at the mill. Thinks his ballads and sonnets are going to convince Camilla Valerius to marry him. As if she would say yes. An intelligent, beautiful woman like her wouldn't fall for that nonsense. I hope.
You hope? You don't sound so sure, mate.
I've been thinking. Maybe Camilla needs a little help seeing Sven for what he is. Could you give her this letter and say it's from Sven? I think I've matched that Nord's lack of cleverness perfectly.
Mercix takes the letter, nods, and turns around. Mercix, about to crumble the letter, thinks to himself, "What a prick!" But he holds onto it before heading past a lumber mill to reach Ralof. A large saw powered by a watermill saws through massive logs. Ralof is seen next to Gerder and Hod. Ralof sits in front of them on a large tree stump.
Now, Ralof, what's going on? You two look pretty well done in. I can't remember when I last slept. Where to start? Well, the news you heard about Ulfric was true. The Imperials ambushed us outside Darkwater Crossing. Like they knew exactly where we'd be. That was 2 days ago now. We stopped in Helgen this morning, and I thought it was all over. Had us lined up to the headsman's block and ready to start chopping.
The cowards.
They wouldn't dare give Ulfric a fair trial. Treason for fighting for your own people. All of Skyrim would have seen the truth then. But then, out of nowhere, a dragon attacked.
You don't mean a real, live...
I can hardly believe it myself. And I was there. As strange as it sounds, we'd be dead if not for that dragon. In the confusion, we managed to slip away. Are we really the first to make it to Riverwood?
Nobody else has come up the South Road today, as far as I know.
Good. Maybe we can lay up for a while. I hate to put your family in danger, Gerda, but...
Nonsense. You and your friend are welcome to stay here as long as you need. Let me worry about the Imperials. Any friend of Ralof's is a friend of mine. Here's the key to the house. Stay as long as you like. If there is anything else you need, just let me know.
Gerder hands us everything in her pockets, a lot of rations and potions, but Mercix has his eye on that Alto wine. He says,
"Thank you kindly, ma'am."
Gerder folds her arms and has a serious expression on her face.
There is something you could do for me. For all of us here. The Jarl needs to know if there's a dragon on the loose. Riverwood is defenseless. We need to get word to Jarl Balgruuf in Whiterun to send whatever troops he can. If you'll do that for me, I'll be in your debt.
Mercix nods.
Thanks, sister. I knew we could count on you.
I ought to get back to work before I'm missed, but did anyone else escape? Did Ulfric?
Don't worry. I'm sure he made it out. It'll take more than a dragon to stop Ulfric Stormcloak. I'll let them into the house and, show them where everything is.
Help them drink up our mead, you mean? Good luck, brother. I'll see you later.
Don't worry about me. I know how to lay low.
I'm glad to help any way I can.
Thank you again, ma'am.
Hod approaches with broad shoulders and a blonde handlebar mustache.
You saw a dragon, did you? Tell me, what was it like? As big as a house?
Much bigger than that, mate. It was as big as an inn.
Well, I'll be. That would be a sight to see. Not that I actually want to see one, understand. I hope that dragon stays far away from here.
Hod leaves. Mercix stays where he is and takes one last look up at the mountain holding Bleak Falls Barrow, and notices the dusk sky before running to catch up with Ralof further in the village. Ralof is walking towards Girder and Hod's house. Mercix catches up and taps his shoulder.
Talos guide you.
So, how do I get to Whiterun from here?
Just head north. Can't miss it. It's the capital of Whiterun Hold. Jarl Balgruuf still hasn't declared for one side or the other. So at least you won't run into any Imperials along the way.
You really think I should join up with Ulfric Stormcloak?
Damn right. You don't have to be a Nord to fight for Skyrim's freedom. You should come to Windhelm with me and join the fight to free Skyrim. You've seen the true face of the Empire here today.
Too right, mate.
If anyone will know what the coming of the dragon means, it's Ulfric.
Yeah, well, considering the imps tried to kill me without knowing who I am, pretty good case. You think Ulfric knows where the dragons came from?
Well, maybe not. Dragons haven't been seen in Skyrim for an age or more. But wherever that dragon came from, and whatever it wants, Ulfric will get to the bottom of it. You can count on that. Besides, you have your own score to settle with the Empire now. And with that dragon.
You make a good case. Maybe I'll go to Windhelm and meet you.
I hope so. Skyrim needs people like you to fight for her freedom. Come on, you better get moving.
Ralof heads back to his sister's house, but Mercix runs to the blacksmith's forge real quick. Forge comes in view, as there's a young girl named Dorth watching her father work away.
Hello, Poppet.
Poppus isn't too friendly with strangers, but you seem alright.
The blacksmith Oliver is hammering away on an anvil.
Ain't every day we get visitors in Riverwood. Whatever you need. Buy Ysmir if it's simple and strong. I can forge it.
Oi, what can you tell me about Riverwood?
Girder's family first settled here as woodcutters a few generations ago. She and Hod run the mill. I make a decent living sharpening axes, fixing the sawmill.
What you got for sale?
Blades, helmets, pretty much anything to suit your needs.
Here we sell almost all of our excess since we have a much more limited inventory space in our survival mode. Normally I hold on to everything as long as I can. We sell all of our unequipped weapons, armors, and pelts. Looking through his wares, we just don't really find anything we need. Instead of buying anything, we ask,
do you need any help around the forge? My father was a blacksmith.
Yes, actually. How about you smith me an iron dagger? Here's everything you need to make one. Go ahead. Until next time.
He hands Mercix some materials, and we go to the forge and craft an iron dagger. He leans against the post and watches work.
You looking for a new blade? Not bad. Reminds me when I first started smithing. Iron or steel is what you need. Leave that fancy elven stuff to the elves.
Here's your iron dagger.
Not bad, but it's a little dull. How about you sharpen it up? Just need a bit of metal and the grindstone over there. All right then.
Mercix walks over to the grindstone and begins to paddle the pedals to spin the grindstone against the iron dagger, turning it into a sharp, fine iron dagger. He does this to his mace as well. He gets up and returns to Alvor.
Whatever you need. My Ismir, if it's simple and strong, I can forge it.
I've sharpened the dagger.
This looks good. You put time into your blades. They'll serve you well when you need them. You want to keep helping? How about you make some armor? Let's start by tanning some leather on the rack. Until next time.
Mercix approaches the tanning rack. An animal hide is sprawled and tightened between two wooden posts. He takes the knife to it and crafts 2 pieces of leather before returning to Alvor.
I could forge you a warhammer that would crush a giant's head like a walnut.
Here's that leather you wanted.
Ah, good. A lot of weapons and armor need leather for straps, fittings, that kind of thing. Let's see if you can make a hide helmet. Here's the rest of what you need. Aye. Iron or steel is what you need. Leave that fancy elven
Mercix
stuff
returns to the
elves.
anvil to forge a hide helmet.
You the sneaky type? Got some nice daggers around here somewhere.
Here's your hide helmet.
Huh. I should hire you to be my assistant at this rate. Let's improve the fit. Take this leather to the workbench over there. Good day.
Mercix goes to the workbench, a metal table with a vice grip. Mercix hammers away to make the hide helmet a fine hide helmet.
Smear if it's simple and strong. I can forge it. Yes?
I've tempered the hide helmet.
You have talent. Keep working at your craft, and you'll be a fine smith one day. Why don't you keep that dagger and helmet? Maybe you'll remember me when you're making Skyforged steel, huh?
What have you got for sale?
Take a look.
And now, because it's a video game, I immediately sell him the hide helmet and dagger, and Alvor is none the wiser.
Can I use your forge again later?
I see no harm in it, if you have the skill. The grindstone will improve your weapons. Use the table to improve your armor. If you've got the raw materials, you can use the forge to make something new. Until next time.
Good night.
From the warm forge, the night air brushes against Mercix, bringing a chill as indicated by a snowflake on the top of the screen. We head towards the back of the town, toward Hod and Girder's house, passing by their hairy cow, which is grazing in their front lawn. Mercix enters the wooden home. There's a warm fire.
Can I help you?
He sees Girder.
Make yourself at home.
He decides not to bother her.
All right, then.
Passing Ralof before passing out in a bed in the back of the room.
Fight. or die well.
He takes some money that's left for him in a footlocker before jumping into a double bed and sleeping for 11 straight hours, exhausted from his run-in with the dragon, only waking due to a massive hunger in his belly. And with that, I want to say thank you for watching. Here we are, trying to make video games more accessible to everyone, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you like what I'm doing here, be sure to give me a like, comment, any feedback you might have, and subscribe so we can spread the word for more accessibility in gaming. Again, this is Soundwave Spectre, and I'll catch you in the next one. See you in part 2.